Abubakar.
Don't do am based on this. Just calm down. You get. Just calm down and get everything right.
NCF is up. NCF
Get
is
the other
up.
guys down.
Everybody's up. Everybody's up. NCF is up. Everybody's up. They can start. Yes, please.
Just calm down. After everything. Just calm down. No worry, if I want to just calm down. Just calm down.
Ají ìmàṣẹ́ ló máa kàn wọ́n ní ẹ gbọ́ ají.
Chibuzo, do you have light at your side?
You can continue with the game. I'm sure.
Feel like we are going like 10 o'clock.
Too much work to do there.
Good morning and welcome to Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval, the home of cricket and venue for the Nigeria Super League. Today is the final game of the group games, and it's a wonderful Wednesday in the city of Lagos. We want to apologize to all our viewers across the globe, wherever you are watching from. There was a small technical issue. We sorted out the issue and we are good to go. And you can be rest assured that today's game will be very entertaining for your viewing pleasure. We have crossed the T's, we've dotted the I's. The producers, the camera, everybody is ready. We are set. You are seeing on your screen how the wicket looks like. The 22 centimeters wicket looking beautiful. Big shout out to all our sponsors who have made this possible. Dafabet, Rusa Advisory, Here's Energy, Sego Family Foundation, Ganho Investments Limited. Everyone who is central to the success of this event up until this moment, we like to profoundly say a big thank you to you all. In no small measure, we are saying thank you. Today is a very auspicious day across the globe. First, to all Muslim brothers and sisters across the globe, happy Eid al-Kabir. And today also coincides with a day where all children across the globe are celebrated globally. It's Happy Children's Day, and it's my prayer to you all, the children across the globe, from whatever continent you are, by the special grace of God, you all fulfill destiny, and your destiny will not be cut short. Like I always say, my name is Oluwaseun Ajidagba. In the eyes of my mom, I'm also a child, because she always remember those things I was doing when I was growing up. Let me quickly run you through some of the things that will interest you before the Northern Lions get on the field against the Middle Belt Tigers. I must say, my colleague, shout out to you, Peter Oladoshu, Mr. Consistency, has been here from day one up until this moment. Went to the center to take the toss, and the fielders was that the captain of the Northern Lions, Sylvester Okpe, won the toss and elected to field, thereby putting the captain of the Middle Belt Tigers, Sulaiman Rushewe, to go and bat. One thing that is also of good interest is that the battle we are about to see is the battle of the former captain of Nigeria and the current captain of Nigeria. And both of them have been winners in their own right. Sulaiman Rushewe won the second West Africa Trophy in Abuja, while Sylvester Okpe won the maiden West Africa Trophy here at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval. But something has to give today, and based on the standings, the Northern Lions are topping after playing 4 matches. They've won 3, lost 1, have 6 points and a net run rate of 1.218. They are followed by the Southern Sharks, led by Captain Isaac Okpe. They got a very sweet victory on Monday in the rescheduled game against the Eastern Elephants. Southern Sharks, led by their captain Isaac Okpe, they played all their 5 matches and they are in the playoff round now. They won 3, lost 2. They have 6 points and a net run rate of 1.007. So it's safe to say that brothers are currently topping. Anything can still change. Middle Belt Tigers find themselves in 3rd position. They've played 4 matches. They've won 3, lost 1. They have 6 points and a net run rate of 0.177. The Central Eagles, led by Captain Peter Hall, have completed their 5 matches. Won 3, lost 2, have 6 points, minus 0.849 the net run rate they have. The Eastern Elephants, they are out of the tournament, played 5 matches. 1-2, lost 3. 4 points they have and 0.301 net run rate. And the Western Dolphins, who are also out, played 5 matches, didn't win any, lost all 5. They have no points and they have a net run rate of minus 1.621. The game would continue from where it stopped. 1.1 overs, 6 runs for loss of no wickets. Solomon Chilemaya getting into the groove. 5 runs from 2 balls. Okpara Umba has faced 5 balls and scored just 1 run. And Okwe Sylvester is into his first over. But let me quickly run you through the batting. Danladi Isaac of Southern Sharks, 144 runs, 14 fours, 3 sixes, and 150 yards. Following closely, Selim Salahu of Central Eagles, 134 runs. He has 10 fours and 8 sixes and 150. Kenneth Boniface is in third position of Southern Sharks, 110 runs, 8 fours he has to his credit, 5 sixes and 150. And for the bowling, Danladi Isaac of Southern Sharks is topping. He has 9 wickets, 1 maiden, 6.12 economy rate. Taiwo Mohammed of Eastern Elephant has been out of the tournament. He has 8 wickets to his credit, 6.61 economy rate. And Okwe Sylvester, the man who is currently bowling, has 7 wickets for Northern Lions with a 3.37 economy rate. My name is Oluwaseun Ajidagba, like I rightly said, and I'm being joined by my colleague Peter Oladoshu. Peter, good morning, and it's great to welcome you to the comms box.
Well, good morning to you too, and it's also nice being here for the final group game. Been here since day 1, and it's nice to see as this game in the final game. And mind you, both teams already in the playoff. Just spots yet to be determined. It is already certain that the Central Eagles are finishing in 4th place, but one of this team, depending on the gap in lots today, might either end up finishing 2nd or 3rd as the other one will see 1st place, and both teams are looking for that 1st place advantage. Struggling there, Chilemaya. The captain taking the ball first. There are only very few bowlers that have bowled in the power play over. I'm talking of in the maximum number of overs, that the 20 overs. Only a handful of bowlers have picked up the ball to bowl within that time frame. I'm talking of the likes of Sylvester Okwe, the likes of Abdulkarim Gafar, the likes of Undubude. Overs, that the 20 overs. Only a handful of bowlers.
The replay there, Sylvester appealing to umpire Temitope Oniko Ijabar, but umpire Temitope is not interested in that appeal. One more good ball to be bowled and we'll come to the end of the 2nd over. And that's the end of the 2nd over. 6 runs for no loss. Let me quickly run you through the squad list of the Middlebelt Tigers. David Ankra, Egosa Agedo Destiny is back in the squad. Elijah Olaleye, Elochukwu Unbudem, Ewere Osaigbon, Folajuwon Ogunaike, Kosi Udekwe, Pelumi Orimolade, Rashid Abolarin, Samuel Umba, Shino Awodele, Solomon Chilemaya, Sulaimon Rushewe, the captain, and Unity Ogboe. After this over, we'll tell you what you need to know about the Northern Lions. Samuel Okpara didn't have a grasp of what Okasha Isiaku bowled in that first ball of the 3rd over, coming from the Court of Appeal end.
You know, it seems like the time that these teams play on that pressure, play better, it's on that pressure. We saw in that last playoff space decider between the Southern Sharks and the Eastern Elephants. We saw how explosive both teams went in the power play, especially the Southern Sharks, as 5 overs was all they needed to post 72 on the board. And in terms of playing out the maximum number of overs, talking the 20 overs, teams have not really been that attacking on the ball, trying to conserve wicket. And you can understand, but seeing the Southern Sharks lose only 1 wicket in that run chase just tells you that teams are very capable of keeping wickets beyond the power play. They're just trying to play either too safe or playing too loose.
There is no run. The final game, and this might say a lot. If the Middlebelt Tigers get a victory. Oh, brilliant shots there. Brilliant shots from Okpara.
Okasha had it coming, been making him quite very uncomfortable with those dot balls. It was right that Okpara dislodged that ball. They've not had too many runs on the board, and the third over is almost on the end. When you look back at that ball was pitched on a shot on good length and wasn't too high off, and it was already slowed down at that point of delivery. So all Okara just had to do was dislodge that ball, saying it was of no threat to the wicket.
He struck. Okasha got into a region that Samuel did not understand. After being hit for a 4, he came back strongly to get that wicket. The replay will help you appreciate that bowling. Thank you, producer. I'll see that again on replay. He had no answer to it.
Of course, this time Okasha came much fuller. You can see the reaction, including a swing into that ball, a swing that Okara didn't anticipate and just had his bat in front of him, but that wasn't enough as that wicket had fallen. I'm not surprised to see Suleiman Rusewe come in almost immediately. I mean, 3 overs have been completed and only 14 runs on the board. That looks like it is okay, but at the point with the projected score sitting at 93, you know that they are not going on the right strides.
You can say that again, and let me just quickly run you through the list of the Northern Lions. We have Captain Sylvester Okwe, Akere Isesele, Anyila Abdullahi, Eweka Ogbemudia, Osana Omonkobio, Isaac Oyengba, Miracle Solomon, Okasha Isiaku, Rainet Osagi, Ridwan Karim, Saturday Elijah. The 12th man is Selim Mogaji. The 13th player is Mubarak Beki, and Daniel Balogun is serving as the 14th player. That's the roll call of the team, the Northern Lion. It's a battle of jungle, lion versus tiger. Who wins?
After that loss that the Northern Lions suffered to the Eastern Atlantic, Sylvester Okwe told me himself that was an eye-opener, and now they've seen where they need to work on, and it seems to be doing just that, keeping these fronts as low as possible. And that low as possible has seen 4 more runs come up. No one even bothered giving the chase. The field was not set for that kind of a distance, and they just had to watch that ball. Beautifully played by Solomon Chilemaya, who has been there, he's not really found his rhythm, and would use every bit of boundaries he can get. Goes big in no man's land as that ball just pitching outside of the boundary ropes. My correction, the inner ring circle. And no fielder was there to take that catch opportunity. A big scare as that ball takes them to 22 runs. Not looking on par there with balls and runs. Plays of the ball front foot driven, but there is a fielder down the leg at long on as they only had 1 run to that ball. The Northern Lions trying to take control of this game. Already looks like they are in control given that first wicket, and now load the run that had been up until this over where it is looking like it is going to be a run per ball in terms of approach. Now slow that down a little bit as the run rate has declined just by a little at 5.75. Projected score sits at 115 as the 4th over is wrapped up much very quickly. 23, the mighty Middlebelt Tigers have on the board for 1.
Captain Sulaiman Rushewe, 2 balls face, 1 run to his name. Solomon Chilemaya, 11 balls face, scored 13 runs. And we are going into the 5th over. Eweka Ogbemudia will be coming from the Court of Appeal end. 2 on-field umpires. Umpire Taiwo Oladunjoye and umpire Temitope Oniko Ijabar.
Over the infield, that backward point, just beyond too high for Ridwan Abdul Karim to get to, and that ball did race to the boundary 4-4. Caught it beyond the reach of the fielder, just high up, and Eweka and the Northern Lions are seeing the runs climb up significantly after keeping them on par, keeping them way, way below the needed at the first 3 overs. Right now, they seem to have found their rhythm. By they, I'm talking Solomon Chilemaya, who is currently the batter in the batting crease. Much better delivery by Eweka. Solely giving out 4 runs of the last 3 delivery. That 4 that was played above the infielder. One of the most agile fielders in this team, Ridwan Abdul Karim, will not let any ball go past him. And Solomon taking advantage of the height and picking it way above him. in the air. Would that be a catch? No, that would be one bounce. Missed it. But didn't let that ball travel too further. I'm talking Odion Isesele, who is at the long on region. Look back, could have done much better and gone for the square leg. But regardless, that certainly don't take him off the strike. As Rusenwe, who has come in for Kwara, will look to push this game as far as possible, pairing with the informed Chile Maya. Before this game, the Middlebelt Tigers somehow split the runs amongst themselves, as making sure that everybody has batted with the ball, has batted and contributed significantly. Can you imagine the highest run scorers for the Middlebelt Tiger only had 96 coming into this game, followed by Gosan 81 and Olaleye on 77. No batter has gotten up to 100 in 4 innings of batting. Helicopters it to the leg side. There is no fielder in the deep, as that ball will race to the boundary for a 4-run. Solomon Chilemaya consistently playing over the infielders. Not found the maximum for himself, but certainly he is finding the ropes. An end to the 5th over. 33 will be on the board for 1. Look at that ball again. I've been trying to find that stride. Was unlucky the first time. This time didn't really found this angle and connected properly.
The projected score has gone to 132. They are 33 for 1 after 5 overs. Sulaiman Rushewe yet to get into the groove. 3 balls he has faced, scored 2 runs. Solomon Chilemaya has faced 16 balls, scored 22. The man who usually starts things for the Middlebelt Tigers has been told to step down, and is just coming into that over that will take us to the end of power play. Rainet Osage coming from the pavilion end, bowling into his first over. Rainet Osage, usually his first over a bit expensive while coming from the Court of Appeal end. And let's see what he will make out of this first over of his coming from the pavilion end. He's the captain of Government College Ugeli Cricket Club, the team who won Division 1 and gained promotion to be in the Premier Division, where they will be rubbing shoulders with the big boys.
The contact point was the bat, but that was a necessary appeal. Seeing Rainet come down in the bowling order, has been the opening bowler for the Northern Lions in the first 3 games, the first 4 games, and was exploited and that loss, and had to see himself drop down to number 4 bowler.
Solomon Chilemaya finding it difficult with the bowling of Rainet Osage. Both 3 balls, 1 run given, and he shuffles again. This is about the best over I have seen of Rainet. After 4 balls, just 1 run. It's a sharp contrast to know
driven straight, but doesn't travel beyond Sylvester Okwe. Chilemaya has been doing a very good job in terms of meeting with those balls. He has been very selective, but this time he really needs to start finding the gap and keeps the run ticking. I know he wants to stay there as long as possible, but he needs to understand that this is a T20 match and it requires you scoring a lot of runs, more runs. It's when you're playing ODI that it's about how long you can stay in the batting crease. Yes, about how many you can put on the ball, and the middle belt Tigers need to recognize that. That was another escape there. Certainly was missing on the leg, the umpire with the right call. But how many more times before Chilemaya sees that finger suddenly go up?
See on your screen Our Northern Lions have used 4 bowlers. Okasha Isiaku, 2 overs, 8 dot balls, 10 runs, 1 wicket. Okwe Sylvester, 2 overs, 6 dot balls, 13 runs, no wicket. Iweka Ogbemudia, 2 overs, 5 dot balls, 13 runs, no wicket. And Renet Osage, 1 over, 5 dot balls, 1 run, no wicket. Best economy rate of 1.00. And see on your screen for the batting, Okpara Samuel, 9 runs from 11 balls, 1-6. Solomon Chilemaya, 23 runs from 19 balls, still batting. He has 4 fours to his credit, 121.05 strike rate. And of course, Rushawel Sulaiman, the captain, he has faced 12 balls, scored 5 runs. And yet to bat, Ehosa Ageru Destiny, Abolari Abdurrashid Ayomide, Olaleye Olayinka Elijah, David Ankra, Osaigbokan Ewere, Orimolade Pelumi, and Awodele Shino. And the last is Undubudem Eluchuku. On your screen, you can see Captain Sylvester Okwe talking to Renet. Battle of 2 captains. But again, one is senior captain, another one an emerging senior captain. Both of them will be facing off when the league resumes later this year. He is the captain of Government College Ughelli Cricket Club, the team that got relegated and got promoted back to be with the big boys. And of course, Sylvester Okwe, former captain of under-19 team of Nigeria, former captain of the national team of Nigeria, but currently is the one steering the ship of the Northern Lions. First over was fantastic for Renet Osage. Can he continue that stead? Only time will tell. Just maybe you spoke too soon. Back to back. The cruelty of cricket. This man only had 1 run he was played for into his first ball. But now, in his second over, which is the 8th over for the entirety of the game, he has given 11 runs, and we still have 2 more good balls to be bowled.
Much better delivery this time. Came clean and inch closer to the stump. Took those balls outside of off on the last 2 occasions, and that was what gave Solomon Chilemaya that authority and that right and freedom to go to flogging it, knowing that there was no way that ball was coming to the wickets required, regardless of how much swing was employed behind it. And it needs to be more compact. He's done that on this last ball, the 5th ball of this over. And this is even better. Every time he's come onto the stump, the runs have been reduced, forcing the bat to run between the wickets. This boundaries were the result of him trying to be adventurous, and he got punished for it. 8 overs has been completed. The Middlebelt Tigers are taking this game very, very steadily. 50 runs is what they have on the board for 1.
Today is a big day across the globe, and Nigeria especially. Everywhere across the globe, there is celebration of the Eid al-Kabir, which is the big festival of the Muslims, where rams are slaughtered, cows, camels, goats, and everything you can think of. And today also, across the globe, wonderful children are celebrated because it's globally recognized as Children's Day. And today also in Nigeria, there's a big event aside from what we are seeing. It will be the unveiling of the new coach and the high performance manager of Nigeria, the man who will take over the mantle from the greatest Kenyan cricketer of all time, Steve Tikolo, the Gonzi Guns. I will share with you who that person is. Great start in that over from Captain Sulaiman Rushawe, who is gradually building himself into the game. We are into the 9th over. Akere Isesele is coming to see what he can do in trying to break this partnership if possible. Akere Isesele, the other player in this team to have won the player of the match. Egosa Agedo Destiny has won 2 player of the match back to back, you have to say.
And that will be 1 run. You can just tell about the reaction by Suleiman Rusebe. Suleiman Chilemaya. You can tell by that form he expected that ball to swing in and just slightly jabbed it, but wasn't going to be that few that was at covers. Redirected to the leg, that will give them a space for 1, now made 2. Solomon Chilemaya, who's been batting very intelligently, flicks that ball into the open gap on the field and adds 2 more runs of the next delivery is faced. Has spent a lot of time in the batting crease, almost 30 balls he has faced. And I like what Suleiman Ruseway is doing, always bringing in Chilemaya, who has already settled in the game, constantly bringing him on strike to continue on the explosiveness and selective intelligence that he has employed since the partnership began. And for the second time in this over, Suleiman Ruseway will be on strike. The Southern Lions looking to keep these runs at the barest minimum. Mind you, only one team has gone above 100 runs against the Northern Lions, And that was the Eastern Elephants coming in the second inning to chase, which they successfully did. The Midwest Tigers, on the other hand, also lost to the Eastern Elephants. So these two teams have one thing in common. Midwest Tigers, on the other hand, beat the Eastern Elephants. So these two teams right now are slugging it out for the top of the table position. Comes through but wasn't dealt with, as they only had one run off that ball, and the ninth over will come to an end. 8:57 is what sits on the board for one.
Solomon Chilemaya was unlucky in the game. He won the player of the match, where he was 3 shots of scoring an half century. He's on 37, 30 more needed to join the growing list of players who have scored half century. But quickly, this is the batting partnership. Okpara Mba Samuel and Solomon Chilemaya faced 18 balls, scored 14 runs in between them. Sulaimon Rushewe, the captain, and Solomon Chilemaya are jointly having a 43-run partnership after facing 36 balls. And one interesting thing, one more over to go for us to get into the drinks break. And Peter, Middlebelt Tigers might likely set a record. They would be the first team to play this tournament without bowling any extra after the drinks break. If it was almost going to happen with Victor Ipoli's team, but Victor Ipoli gave that one extra.
You know, you have to applaud what the teams are doing. Extras have significantly reduced as the tournament progressed. Everything is starting to recognize what is at stake, and batters are forced to actually go more on balls more, knowing that extras will be very, very minimal and will do very little in terms of boosting runs. And also, you have to compliment the bowlers for what they've been doing in terms of keeping that ball on line with the wicket, and the wicket keeper as well, making sure that those balls that don't end up in the batter's contact points do not beat him.
The new bowler is Nigeria's former under-19 captain, a member of the national team, sporting jersey number 88 on your screen, Karim Ridwan. Off every ball, he has been played.
Probably expecting an extra there, Suleiman Rusewe, but that wasn't the outcome. The first thought of the over for the Northern Lions. Been bowling significantly where they all have. Flicks it to the leg. There is a few that, but there was enough gap as well for them to take a quick single. Suleiman Rusewe taking himself off the strike, as we are just one ball away from going into the water break, and one ball away from seeing a team set a record of the first team to go halfway into an inning without giving a single extra.
Let's see whether that record will be created now. Ladies and gentlemen, it was not expected, but he had to give them an extra run that they didn't bargain for. Quite unfortunate. He needed a miracle. That miracle he could not provide, and that led to 4 runs. Solomon Chilemaya, 8 shots of half century, 42 runs from 28 balls. Sulaimon Rushewe, 14 runs from 21 balls. They need to find a solution to break this partnership. And of course, the Middlebelt Tigers are 66 runs for loss of 1 wicket after 10 overs. But more importantly, it is imperative to put it out there that they became the first team in this tournament after 10 overs not to bowl an extra. We are back again after that deserved drinks break. 67-1 is what the score reads. Middlebelt Tigers were sent in to go and bat after the Northern Lions won the toss, and all efforts ended in vain to the dismay of Akere. He gave it a chase. He was looking more like he was going to get there, only for that chase to end in futility.
I think he felt either he could outrun that ball at some point, and that wasn't going to happen. Still, they've been bowling actually quite very well. No extras yet in over 63 balls being bowled. No extras are being bowled by the Northern Lions. The bowling is doing a very compact job. And now what remains to complement their bowling inning is wickets. They've had only one so far. And also compliments to the Middlebelt Tiger, only losing one wicket so far as this game has progressed. Big stop by Ridwan Abdul Karim. That would have been a run-out chance. Looked for that direct hit. You have to applaud the young lad giving that big dive from the backward of point region, not letting that ball beat him, and most certainly acknowledging that he is in an exposed space. Any ball beyond him is certain for the boundary ropes. Now the right contact there for the Middlebelt Tigers keeper, Suleiman Rusewi. As I push this game slowly, and you can understand why Chilimaya are taking charge, and what remains is to complement and build him into the inning and give as many wickets as you possibly can as the game is nearing its end. Mind you, both these teams are already in the playoffs, so the Lions sitting at first and the Middlebelt Tigers in third place. As the Middlebelt Tigers know that a win could put them at an advantage going into the playoff rounds, where first and second will go against each other. A meeting that will give whoever loses that encounter a second life, a redemption of shooting for the finals. And that is what both teams want to try and secure right now. The Lions need this win or need a victory to go into the playoffs as top of the table, as well as the Middlebelt Tigers. And only one of these teams will prevail at the end of the day.
Karim Ridwan has one assignment. Try and break this partnership if possible before they get settled. And when I mean get settled, continue to bat. Solomon Chilimaya is in that area where he was that day, where he scored 47. He's now on 48. And one more they take to bring him to 49 runs. And will this over be that over Solomon Chilimaya, who joined the 50 ranks? Danladi Isaac at some point in time was on 49. Couldn't do it. And ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? He will be asking himself, when will I join the 50 ranks? The likes of Danladi Isaac, Salim Salau, Kenneth Boniface are the only three players to have scored 50 runs. Peter today is Children's Day, we agree. But this shot looks like a shot for the children.
Yeah, that was unprofessional by Chilemaya. He should have tried and kept it steady and opened up too much. And I see no reason as to why that bat was angled that way. And that was the outcome. It hurts more when you know that you're closing in on a personal milestone. I think it would have hurt less if he was probably on 35, 40 even, than getting out at 49. No batter likes to go out at that point in the game. And he has had to lose his wicket. And as much as he's dismayed about it, the Northern Lions are having the last laugh. Because right now, Abdul Karim can actually brag about it. He restricted, he stopped Chilemaya from getting that 50 runs against them.
You know, Peter, I was telling you about the need for him to break that partnership, because that partnership was already enjoying. See that again, it could come down to indecision, and he was looking into the high heavens that, Lord, where will my help come from? Can Karim just drop this catch? But unfortunately, it didn't happen. Here comes Elijah Olaleye. To come in and bat with a familiar foe. Both of them play for the same team as far as state is concerned. They are both from Oyo State, the Paysetter State. And both of them were also in that same team that made history to qualify Nigeria for our first ever World Cup. That was in South Africa. So there's a bit of batting partnership.
What a lovely way to end the 12th over. That is, after getting that much near wicket of Chilemaya, who had intelligently stayed there up until that moment. It is 12 overs completed. 77 sits on the board for 2.
And talking about 2, that word is very constant. It takes 2 people to run commentaries. And see that again on replay, the ball turned. There was a bit of indecision. And you could see the celebration from Elijah Saturday Jimmy. Like I said, we are not the only ones doing this. We are a league of commentators. And joining Peter Oladoshu to continue from the 13th over, and you'll be hearing his voice for the very first time today, is Lumide Ajao.
Welcome to the box, Olumide Ajaubu. I know you've been watching this game for most part. You saw that first wicket, and also I heard you giggling in the back about the second wicket, given just how cheap that shot it was, and how easy that was of a wicket for a batter who was close to 50.
Thank you very much, Peter. And thank you, Seun, for bringing me on. Brilliant display of batting from this Middle Belt Tigers. Bright sunny day of cricket out here at the Tafawa Balewa Square Cricket Oval. Very unfortunate to see Chilemaya come so close, and he threw it away. Got caught by that turning leggy by Ridwan Karim. Score stands at 77 for 2 after 12.3 overs bowled. Projected score now stands at 123. Peter, we've seen aggression, more aggression on the power play. The white ball delivered there. Akiri Sesele.
And that is the first extra in this game. Also far, every team, all they've been doing is keeping those balls in line with the Storms and making sure the batter played. This is the longest any team has gone. 12.3 overs. Any team has gone without delivering and extras. And that tells you just how much seriousness that the Northern Lions have brought into this very match.
Correctly said, Peter. We're moving quietly towards the prize. And it's expected that people by now, teams have gotten 4 or 5 games under their belts. You should be in control of your game. And obviously, the Middle Belt Tigers are doing that. And the Northern Lions too, like you said, they've become a better bowling side. We've seen less extras. Shows you the commitment of these boys. And at this level, this is what is expected. Akere Sesele is known for taking wickets, but these batters, Mushewe set in the crease. He's got 17 of 25 deliveries. Olaleye has joined him. And, you know, they're walking the ball around, Peter. They're really not heads up looking for boundary. You can see them taking the singles, rotating the strike. And that last single brings us to the end of the 13th over. It's 82 for 2.
A reverse sweep that didn't travel too far, as he has been there. I'm talking the few that at backward point. Driven down, and will he get to the boundary ropes? Of course he would not, as extra covers and long off, putting hands together to reduce the runs to the barest minimum. Bruceby keeping himself on strike after getting 2 off that ball.
Can say that again, Rushewe needing to take charge now. Is the man setting that crease. Or Ridwan picked the wrong line. But there's cover up for him on the boundary rope. Quick running legs of Rushewe Sulaiman and Olaya Elijah would get 2 runs from there. Like I was saying, Rushewe is the set batsman. He's seen more balls, he's seen 30 deliveries. Olale Elijah is a new man, but quickly getting his rhythm, rotating strike very, very well. Beautiful cover drive there, would find extra cover. I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing. You need to rotate strike, you need to, and when loose balls present themselves from bowlers, you can dispatch and get some boundaries from there. But for now, they keep ticking the board. It's gone big. They get there, no, picked up, very good pick up there from the boundary. Deep mid wickets, doing that beautiful work. But they get 2 from there, taking the first one very fast. These 2 have played cricket together from secondary school, under 15. They both opened for Oyo State age group. And you can see the stats on the board.
And yeah, so far the highest run partnership of 62 runs or 51 was that between Suleiman and Chilemaya, where Chilemaya was consistently being brought on strike by Suleiman Rusebi. And Yinka, Elijah and Rusebi already on double figures in 15 balls faced, as Suleiman will not need to be the one to take charge. Previously, he was consistently bringing Chilemaya on strike, but now that Chilemaya is housed, he's had to be the one on strike and taking charge. which means that Elijah will be the one complimenting him and bringing him on that stride as frequently as possible. And he has continued. Yes, look where that 4 runs went to, brought to his leg side, and he was right to dismay it and send that ball beyond the ropes.
Very well played there. You can see that shot again on replay. Shot, delivery there, pounced on it very quickly by Sulaiman Rushewe and gets 4 runs from there. Just to start that over from Isesele Akere. Like I said, he's known in this tournament. He's taking vital wickets, Akere. But he has to contend with these 2 solid batsmen trading for the middle belt Tigers. Like I was saying, these 2 know themselves very well, communication in sync. They've played together for over 20 years. And again, finding that gap, we did go all the way, very good effort there in the deep. Captain Sylvester Okwe throwing his body in the line. You can see Sulaiman giving some applaud there. You see that one skip out of the crease. Look at that for a fielder. Brilliant, brilliant. Lovely effort. It's 96 for 2. 14.3 overs delivered. And it goes big, flashes. It's in the air. He hasn't gotten that distance. It's gone really high up. Lucky you. Batsman, the fielder underneath. Miracle Aigbe. It was a tough one to catch. We saw someone take a difficult catch like that in the name of Vincent Adewoye, the captain of the Western Dolphins. They couldn't get a win under their belt. Look at that effort. Olale did not miss that. You shouldn't throw your wicket. And now, as he got in a hold of that, one bounce trickles down into the boundary. Olale is intentional, don't you think? From the way he's played the last 2 balls, I don't know what is said with Rushewe. I don't know what the instructions are from his captain, but he's going aggressive.
Yeah, right now, you do not afford to give a batter extra life. That is what Abdul Karim Ridwan did earlier, getting that wicket of Chilemaya, knowing fully well that any more chances will have seen this game prolonged longer than it currently does right now. And look at that ball, having been previously dropped. It was just right that he took corrections on that previous shot and made sure this time around to make contact, and that was the result as you will get it.
Yeah, Peter, shimmy down that track by Elijah Olaleye is quickly moved to 14 of 12 deliveries. Beautiful partnership building up here. We want to see it thrive into the 18th, 19th, or probably take the game away from the opposition. Ball is in the air. Oh, French cut there, miscued by Elijah. But would get a single from there. Brings Akere SSLS over to an end. There's 15 overs done and dusted. Here the Tafa Balewa Square cricket over is 103 for 2. We're sitting 28 runs of 33 deliveries. Elijah Olaleye has joined him after the loss of Chinemaya and quickly dealing in singles and finally got a boundary to his name. He's gotten 15 runs of 13 deliveries. Goes big. And the sixth signal, maximum. Like I told you, Peter Olaleye, from his body language, tells me I'm going to go out aggressive. Let's see this again on replay. Skipping out of his crease and launching that with some venom, depositing that ball over long off. And again, going hard at it, not quite middling that ball, some miscue there. And it's not surprising to see the captain of the Northern Lions, Sylvester Okwe, come get the ball. Another effort there. Captain Sylvester not too pleased. But good effort there to stop any run from coming in. Oh, they get a single from that ball. No wonder Sylvester will be looking like that. He's not too pleased. In the inner ring, you should stop singles. Malaya walking that again towards the leg side for another single. They've kept the ball ticking, Peter. This is some good cricket to watch. We've been clamoring for some batting. The bowling has been dominant for a long time. And I'm happy to see the batting picking up. Let's see some cricket sense between. Let's see you building and let's see you keep your partnership. And reverse sweep is employed by Runshewe. Missed it all. Couldn't get a bat on that. Good to see some creativity, but don't lose your wicket in the process.
Shuffles out and makes contact just at that first bounce, and they will settle for 1 run to end the 16th over. So far, the Middlebelt Tigers have had a couple of runs on their board, and they will look to push for more with the last 4 overs of play. 113 they've registered, 2 wickets lost, and 16 overs completed. They didn't make contact, as that contact point was at the middle of the bat, not the region that Rusewe wanted it to be at, as that ball just bouncing outside of the inner ring, not traveling too far off, as now it is just 1 run that they seem to be taking per over, since that 6 runs being played by Elijah in the previous over. And it goes big this time. Will it be a maximum? Yes, it will be. There was nothing for Okasha to do than to watch that ball fly above him. Being there, and he is taking charge.
Look at that again. Peter dislodged that. Maximum is gotten Elijah. I could tell from his body language. Very solid batsman, compact. Swing and a miss there. Elijah moving to 29 of 18 deliveries very quickly. Trading in some big sixes. He's gotten a couple of boundaries under his belt. Mushewe, steady hands. 31 of 37 deliveries. Like you said, he was anchoring for Chilimaya. Now, I don't think he's anchoring. These two are going all out, taking that first run very fast. And they've successfully taken on Akere. It's excellent, one of the finest fielders we've got. Very strong arms. Stays on the boundary rope for his team. Andy Bola as well. Now Iweka is going to be trying to wrap this over up. Full toss. Would not find the gap. A dot ball from there. Oshewe should do better. Full toss delivery. Should find a way to the boundary, but split that on its merit. Not trying to do anything fancy. He's found a fielder.
Every bowler that has had an excellent bowling inning before now, all of a sudden, just seems to have lost their control of the ball, as Elijah has made sure to exploit every single batter he's come across. The 17th over has come to an end. 123 is what sits on the board currently for 2.
Peter, with all these batters in the dugout for the Middle Belt Tigers, I want to see some explosive batting. We have 3 more overs, 18 balls to be precise. I don't know the information going on to the field from the coaching crew, but we've not had this compact, a batting side. We want to see a side apart from Maizi Kokwe's team. That's, maybe the first game of the series of the tournament had 170 plus runs on board. I want to see this game go over 150 or more. There have to be some aggressive. You can't have men in the dugout and play quietly. I'm sure you want to bring in some aggression here. And again, you can see the ball has been given to Kasha. Also a steady bowler. They're returning to their opening bowlers. Let's see this war plan out. Let's see how it works.
Seems like it doesn't matter who they bring. Those runs will just keep climbing down on the wicket. Elijah, he's having the reading, bringing in Ukasha to try and take out the wicket. He took the first wicket for the Northern Lions, and they want him to take the most important wicket right now, which is Elijah, because he's posing a bigger threat than Chilimaya was in his batting inning.
Very well said. At the depth of the inning, you want to go back to your pacers or your opening bowlers, your most formidable bowling pair to come run through the later parts of the game and ensure that necessary wickets be taken and runs be cut out, reduced significantly. And it's no surprise Ukasha has been called on. Let's see what. And again, very close. I don't know what Elijah was doing there, trying to create some space. Ukasha just missing that off stump. Let's see that on replay by Whiskers. Look at that. He's exposed his off stump. Oh, how lucky can Mr. Elijah be, Peter?
Yeah, three of the boundaries that Elijah had played since stepping in, he has played away from his body, and Ukasha had consistently been on that wicket. What he wanted to do was take himself out and recreate those shots he's been playing since, and Ukasha took that ball even further away from his reach, and that was what gave the Northern Lions that escape of a chance, because if there was a contact, that ball surely would have traveled, if not beyond, then to the boundary ropes.
Kasha doing the damage control here. He's come back strong. 4 deliveries, just 3. And look at that for another shot. Has he gotten a hold of it? No. Mushewe doing some footwork outside off stump, trying to walk that ball to the leg side. Unnecessary. I think he should play the ball on its merit. Don't try to do something. You know, creativity is nice when it works. When it doesn't, it makes you look funny. And Okasha's managed to pick 3 dot balls, valuable dot balls at this stage. I was looking at 6s. Lovely glove work there, but wide has been declared by Temitope Onikoye, standing umpire. We've not seen so many extras in this game. They've been very disciplined as a bowling unit. And you can see that again. Nushewe's movement causing a lot of trouble for Okasha. You keep your line as a bowler. Forget about the batsman's movement. But it's been competitive. It's been very, very... Look at that again. You see, when I say when you be creative, you can look funny at times. If we see that again on replay, Nushewe, no man's land. Brings us to the end of that 18th over. It's 127 for the loss of just 2 wickets. Current run rate stands at 7.06 per over. Projected score now 141. And looking above my shoulders now, I see the man, Endurance Ofem, here with us. You'll be hearing his voice shortly. And I'm back in the studio is Shenwa Jidagba, the voice you love to hear. He's also back online. Should enjoy this too. Let's see this game. And there's 2 overs with these 2 people. This is my colleagues. Thank you. Enjoy their voices. Enjoy the game.
Good afternoon, AJ, and thank you once again. Interesting moment here. Decent 127 for 2. 12 deliveries left from this innings. Hopefully, this partnership, well experienced, to set. Clearly, 129 for 2. It's Ronshan 31 of 39 deliveries. Olaleye, 35 of 24. Expect some aggressive batting now. First up, that will be a wide. Rienet needs to be very focused here. 130 seems a lot. Might become perhaps if you can get another 13, 12 deliveries. Both batters are capable. It's been tough condition, toiling away, hard job, but for sure. He goes big. Will that travel all the way? Looks like yes, and it goes all the way. That's what is required. Real standard at this point. You know it will come, and it's coming now. Quickly raising to 134 now. Ready, 6 from that over. Look at that again. He just shaped up, open up his front foot, and that would go towards mid-wicket. 1 bounce into that boundary. Projected score now 148. Footwork now placing. They would run this a couple. 2 runs from that delivery. Yet will be rebowled. Still 5 balls to come. Regnet just making a mess of this day, but we must give credit to the batters who have stuck in together and finding that needed and decent partnership. Ajidagba, what plans have you got this afternoon?
Oh, decent bowling there from Renet. And you're talking about this afternoon. Endurance, I wish to remind you that we are still in the morning. By my time, you could be coming from a different continent. You can't take that away from Endurance. Maybe he's just coming in from Dubai. But then Renet, 4 more good balls to be bowled. He tries an inventive shot, and in the process gets himself out. Sulaiman Rushewe was at par with Elijah Olaleye, who raced into that 35, and both end on 35 before he departs of the bowling of Reynet Osage, who just got his first wicket today. And the replay will help you appreciate what Reynet tried to do.
Just moving too much and away from that delivery. He was there, he got in line, he should have kept his balance there, execute before moving. What a relief moment for Reynet, who have struggled already, considered more than enough in this over. 137 for 3. It is Sulaiman Ronshewe who has departed, and the Middle Belt Tigers here trying to find what could become a very decent total to bowl at. Hopefully they can dominate, but I'll tell you, the Northern Lions have a strong batting unit. They'll have to do a lot more to see if they can really race through this. The last group games of this Super League.
These two were almost gonna take the game to victory before David Ankra lost his wicket. They eventually won that game with a nervy win against the Eastern Elephant. But David Ankra was very instrumental himself and Elijah Olale in that game. And it was Mohamed Ridwanullah who needed to just dab the ball for that game to get into a super over, or probably score 2 runs off the last ball, but couldn't do it. Into his path, but he read it and understood what Reynet was trying to do. Elijah Olale has 15 short of half century. Can he achieve it? 4 runs to end that 19th over, taking his tally to 39.
And the score clearly 142 for 3 from 19 overs. We spoke about this. Looks like 150 might be what it will be. David Abibode also has the ability, and this team, Middle Belt Tigers, have got what it takes. It just needs to be a time. A little shimmy there, and down the wicket it was. Who will the captain Sylvester Okwe Tonto in the last over?
This tournament is gradually bursting into life. At that moment where we require the players to step up their performance, they are doing so. This tournament has seen 3 players score half century: Danladi Isaac, Salim Salau, and of course Kenneth Boniface. This tournament has also seen 3 players score 49 runs: Danladi Isaac, Muiz Animashao, and of course Solomon Chilemaya.
Projected score 149. Middle Belt Tigers looking to finish strong here. Interesting line. Okacha, a very brilliant ball in there. He's looking to go to his offside and walk him out. But he moved too early, and Okacha didn't miss that trick. He smiles, he knows it. A moment where you have to perhaps just play proper cricket shots, and you might be able to get as much as you can. 5 deliveries to come, 143 it is. Opens up, brilliant bowling. The batters need to know this is unacceptable really at this stage of the game. Balls should be flying over the boundary ropes. Elijah, 39 of 28. You'll have to finish strong here. 4 deliveries left. The dugout on the edge of the seats. They want more. Oh, brilliant bowling. Not the bad brother. Just not moving those feet. He knows it. Oh, this is quite disappointing and becoming a very, very good over by Okacha. Action will continue for sure tomorrow. A lot of intensity here. Wide delivery this time. Elale looking for that balance. Perhaps would find one soon. Okacha trying to hasten up. 144. Every single run counts at this stage of the game. Brilliant shot this time. I'll get a couple feeder in the deep, just making sure it will only be 2. A brilliant running between the wicket. Two deliveries left from this over. This is the last over of this innings. And clearly, Olale Elijah. Oh, brilliant shot, but got a hand onto that one on catcher. Just a single from it, and it is David Abibode who will take the last. I beg your pardon, that's Ankra. That man is a danger man, but he's just got one delivery left of this innings. A man with such an experience and quality in batting should be in early. But it will be his 4th delivery. Inside out he tries to go, but Fielder will chase 2 runs for sure. Brilliant running by David Ankra and Elale. He wants one, they will scramble for a 3rd. Oh, disappointing. These things should not be happening at this stage. But it is 3 runs from that, and the score will be 150 after 20 overs for the loss of 3 wickets.
Well, we've seen cases where a team scores 152 and still went on to lose. But the Northern Lions, to make it 4 wins from 5 games and hold that top position on the leaderboard, they need to score 151 runs in 20 overs or less. Or else Middlebelt Tigers would have done 4 out of 5. And here is it. The Middlebelt Tigers lost the toss, went into bat, scored 150 for loss of 3 wickets. Solomon Chilimaya, 49 runs from 33 balls. Olaleye Olayinka Elijah, 42 runs from 31. And Sulaiman Rushewe, the captain of the side, 35 from 41. The best bowler had to be Karim Ridwan, who had 1 wicket for 19 runs in 3 overs. Okasha Isiaku, 1 wicket for 22 in 4 overs. And Renet Osagi, 1 wicket for 28 runs in 3 overs. That's how things panned out. We'll come back for the 2nd innings. Will Middlebelt Tigers restrict the Northern Lions from scoring 151 that is required in 20 overs or less? Or will the Northern Lions surpass what is required of 151 runs in 20 overs or less? Only time will tell. It promises to be an entertaining game, but big shout out to our 2 on-field umpires, umpire Temitopo Niko Ijabar and umpire Taiwo Olatunjoye, and our 3rd umpire for today, umpire Sukomi Odedele. Great to be back for the second innings of the only game. The only game we're going to see today, a unique day across the globe, a day where celebration is everywhere, from the children of the world being celebrated to Eid al-Kabir. And this is the second innings where Northern Lions require 151 runs in 120 balls. And by virtue of that white ball to start things off from the Court of Appeal end, from Egosa, who didn't get to bat today, but can do what is required to do with the ball. The first ball started out with a wide. Into his body, Elijah Saturday Jimmy walking out of his batting crease, trying to shake off the pressure that comes with delivering the mandate that was given to him by Captain Sylvester Okpe. And the other batter from the non-strikers end, Osana Omonkobio. Ladies and gentlemen, the first wicket. What a catch. Jimmy would have to walk without scoring a run. As far as the group games are concerned, Elijah Saturday Jimmy has played his final game. But we'll be hoping for a better performance when he gets to the knockout phase. What a diving catch there by Solomon Chilemaya, who showed a lot of athleticism.
Yeah, got caught back the bowler in the first inning, and he has returned the favor. Not the bowler who caught him out, but certainly his teammate, and Jimmy had to suffer in that stride. Mind you, the Mighty Lions have been on top of the table right since game one. And right now, winning this game will mean everything to them, as if they lose today's game, they are going to drop to third place. And mind you, only first and second have that lifeline opportunity of getting another chance at the final, given how the eliminator format is. First and second will play out, and whoever wins goes straight into the finals, and who loses in that encounter will meet the winner of the third and fourth place match going into the final. Right now, a win will see Middlebelt shoot themselves in that eliminator. Now it is more runs than wickets lost, as that one run for one wicket has seen the Northern Lions have a new approach to this game. Remember, in the last game, the final playoff decider between the Southern Sharks and the Eastern Elephants, where the Eastern Elephants won the toss and they were made to regret that decision. We were just hoping that it wouldn't be the same fate that the Northern Lions will suffer in that stead. And it is also nice to see Egosa back in. His absence was deeply felt by the team in their last match. He didn't play well, and the bowling overs were actually sort of explosive and expensive until they were able to mediate it and somehow take the win. But since he's back now, you can tell just how much he means with that first wicket. Little hesitant there, Monko didn't make a decision, and that ball was not going to take a run off of it. Drove it to the leg side and will settle for one. First over has been completed along with a wicket taken. as the Northern Lion can only boast of 2 runs after 6 balls faced.
Danger struck in the first over when Elijah Saturday Jimmy lost his wicket, and Miracle Solomon will be hoping for a miracle in the batting crease alongside Osana Omonkobio, who is here to register his name on the scoreboard, having faced 3 balls. Undubudem Elochukwu will be coming from the pavilion end to try and slow things down. They require 148 runs in 114 balls. Doable, possible. But these two needs to score runs, but more importantly, build partnership. Just like Ewosa started out with a wide, Undubudem has also started out with a wide. They want to give you the chase. They make comfortable 2 runs. Can 2 become 3? Just 2 runs. Plays it up. It will be safe. From that action alone meant Osana Omonkobio was going to have another life where he can continue to bat. But that was a bit risky. It could have been a different story entirely. But no run there. Rashida Bolarin. Cuts it back. David Ankra gives it a chase. Ball will not go for 4. Lovely chase from David Ankra to show how athletic he is. This has been a bit of an expensive over from Undubudem Elochukwu. Oh, that was close there, but well read by Osana.
Up in the air, would this be a catch? He is unlucky again, as could have done better that fielder and didn't take a hold of that catch. The guilty man, being Pelumi, had everything it took, was under that ball, and all just had to do was close it. But Osana will escape another wicket scare. It is the end of the second over. 10 more runs were scored in this over as the runs shot up to 12, and it's still 1 wicket lost. He is certainly having fun, and I'm talking about Egosa. saw him training yesterday. He looked very, very sharp and back in form, and it is no surprise to see that he, with the ball, is performing absolutely amazing. Didn't need to walk too hard. The bounce was there, the height was achieved, and all that remained was to be driven. A foul that was welcome, and Miracle Solomon, who had 4 more runs to the team. There, when you look at that replay, it was all but threatening the wicket, and Miracle had to just take advantage of that gap, and he's still within the power play, so which means that the Northern Lions can't look to post staggering runs on the board. Remember, they need 135 of the next 106 balls after seeing the East Mighty Tigers put 150 on the board of 120 balls. Much better delivery, but that would be a leg by. Much welcome by the side.
$134 runs in 105 balls. Usana Omonkobio, the striker on 100% strike rate.
Even a narrow loss is enough to send the Northern Lions down to third place, and they cannot afford to do that, having been top of the table for majority of the tournament. The first team to pick up a win, that was the Northern Lions. And also they have lost another wicket. Miracle Sunday cannot believe his eyes right now. Went too flat on that catch. I'm not surprised to see Elijah. That ball was already going low. A big dive to take that much needed catch. It is 2 wickets for the desperate Northern Lions.
I must say that Endurance of FM needs to do the needful to make the boys happy. That was excellent. The vision, the awareness is everything you can say about that catch. This is more like the best catch I've seen in this tournament. The way he was running, the way he dived. Endurance, please do the needful for your league of commentators. We'll make things work. Ehosa Aguero Destiny is coming back with a bang. And in comes Captain Okpe Sylvester. He never envisaged he will be coming this much early. I love to see that catch over and over again. Oh, see it again. He was running, he was watching. Elijah Olaleye, you owe me 100,000 calories. Everything you need to see about that catch, you can watch it over and over again, and the Rastafarians will say, if it sounds nice, you play it twice. But that can be played more than 5-6 times. That was an exquisite and a brilliant catch.
Well, 133 runs required from 102 deliveries. It's Ozana who's 10 of 10 deliveries. The skipper himself strolls in. Sylvester Okwe faced only one ball yet. 18 for 2 after 3. Clearly the intensity here is becoming very, very high. Abolari, that man, under 19 hero for Nigeria. He was a very dangerous man to face. Unfortunately, injury hasn't allowed much of him in the leagues, but he's gradually coming back to the fold. Here, Ozana versus Abolari from the pavilion end of this prestigious Tafabala Square cricket over in Lagos, Nigeria. Call it the commercial city. The action continues. Oh, brilliant. Straight to the fielder at short mid-wicket. That won't go. More and more questions around that area. Abolari, dangerous in his own standards. That man really sims the ball both ways. Hopefully, he would be able to do something for the middle bit. Northern Lions have dominated. Let's see. Oh, brilliant shot again, straight to the fielder at mid-off.
And that's Shina Woodele. And I must say that Peter, the man on your screen, Rashid Abolari, there was a time he was the quickest in Nigeria. Unfortunately, the injury slowed him down. He was a member of that historic team that went to South Africa.
The pace is not there, but certainly the interest is there, as that 4 was a good way to continue and kickstart for the Northern Lions. Already they've lost 2 wickets. When you look back at that replay and you see how much charge Ozana has taken, I hasn't really found that form he had since match day 1. But subsequently, this is where it all matters. It wouldn't be nice being on top of the table all through the tournament and then missing out on that top 2 spot. A loss today could see the Northern Lions draw a narrow loss, even is enough to drop them down to 3rd spot, and they cannot afford to lose that, as only 1st and 2nd will have a second life at going to the finals if they need be.
Thank you very much, Peter, for that education. Nigeria Super League, sanctioned by the Nigerian Federation, sponsored by Rusa Advisory, Here's Energy, Dafabet, Ganho Investment Limited, Sego Family Foundation, and our biggest sponsor, that's a wide, is God Almighty, who has always given us a perfect weather for the game of cricket to be played.
Oh, clearly, plenty happening around the Nigerian cricket scene. This afternoon, we'll be unveiling the head coach and high performance manager for Nigeria at Martin Steve Magongo from Zimbabwe. That's really happening soon. Tell you the excitement for the players yesterday. Oh, brilliant shot again, straight to the fielder at mid-off. No run from that one. Got a call in from Zim and says the players must be ready to work extremely hard, because Magongo is a man who pushes the players, and that's what you want to see. We saw what Steve Tikolo did to the boys, and that changes their psyche. Now they've got even another experienced coach who have been part of the Zimbabwean setup for a long time. And 2 p.m. is the time. Oh, brilliant line, but he misses out on that one. That looks like a foolish delivery that should go. Yes, he's hit 3 straight balls to the fielders at mid-off. Ozana perhaps will have to use a bit of soft hands there. Ajidagba, what's your take on the coach going to be unveiled this afternoon?
I need all the names of those who were part of that selection panel. I need to start calling out their names one after the other. They've done a tremendous job in picking the best candidates, and I must commend the Nigerian Cricket Federation under the leadership of Una Uyo Sanosawaru Akpata. Perfect time for us to say, Mr. President, it's not too much for us to say happy birthday to you. Monday was your date of birth. But then talking about Stephen Maviza Mangongo, that man is someone who understands what it is to play at the apex of cricket. If you have taken the 19 cricket team to World Cup 3 times, and you have been an assistant coach for the Zimbabwean national team, going to the World Cup for 4 times. You have also been the one to ensure that a certain player, Maraska, that young man on his test debut, scored a century. And of course, Tatenda Taibu becoming the youngest captain of Zimbabwean history to captain them. You can chronicle all the achievements that he has gotten, but one of the many things he has not done is to coach Iwajidagba. Maybe this is just be the perfect period.
Thank you, Shehu. And we're back on the action now. 23 for 2 after 4 overs, needing 128 runs. Northern Lions off 96 deliveries. Peter, your take.
Yeah, this match was actually very much more anticipated. I mean, the match between the Southern Sharks and the Eastern Elephants was a very beautiful match, because that match was going to determine who took the last playoff spot. And now this isn't for the playoff spot, but this is who will take that top spot on the group points table. And if the Middle Belt Tigers do take that, the Northern Lions will drop down to third, and which means that they will have to slug it out, knowing that every game is a must win, while the Southern Sharks, who had the narrow escape getting into playoff round, are already guaranteed a spot in the first and second of eliminator stages. And that just tells you that this match is all to play for, as no team will want to have themselves, don't want to see themselves go this far and lose out on that top spot. And the Northern Lions are continuing that strive with a beautiful dribbling boundary by Sylvester Okwe, who has had to come in quite early, but he's having to take charge. Ozana is off the strike for now, but Sylvester Okwe is not that too far out of reaching his runs face. And looking at the ball Sylvester has faced, you understand that he knows what it is needed. Haven't seen these explosive boundaries from him yet, just like we saw how Suleiman Rusewi took his time to ease himself into the batting crease, but we do expect to see the Northern Lions do all of that. Pitch short and no contact was made. Lucky escape for Egosa and the Middle Belt Tigers.
Excellent from my colleague Peter Oladoshu. Okwe Sylvester is not far off from the man who has the most runs at this tournament. But unfortunately, he has finished all his own game. And I'm talking about Danladi Isaac. They call him the stabilizer. The man who won the best batter at the second West Africa Trophy. And the man on your screen, Okwe Sylvester, the best batter at the just concluded and successful Club Cricket Committee League, where he also won the most valuable player. Danladi Isaac is on 144 runs. Okwe Sylvester, before going into bat, was on 103, and when you add his 4 runs, it gives you 107. So that means if he can stay through and bat like a captain, he would definitely go on top as the top batter of this tournament after the group games.
Yeah, I'm still surprised seeing how much consistent Egosa has been with those short length deliveries and short and good length deliveries. Sylvester is still yet to make contact, but the last 2 of those balls being bowled, Egosa has somehow escaped, because Sylvester on a normal day would punish those balls. Does it a 3rd time, and luckily he had somebody in place, Abolari Abdul Rashid, the few that was kept in that region, as they will finish off with 1 run to end the 5th over. It is 28 that sits on the board for 2.
That man Okwe Sylvester has got the qualities in him. Yeah, was a danger man. Single-handedly won games for GCI in the CCC League, scoring over 400 runs a season. The more and more pressure comes in here. Every single game counts. They want to stay on. They want to fight on. They know that. The Eastern Elephants and the Sharks have departed from this tournament. You know, I beg your pardon, Elephants and Dolphins have departed from this tournament. And clearly, the intensity, they usually say if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, that's it. But here, more and more, it's going to come through. Yeah. 28 for 2 from 5 overs both. 123 required now at this point. Required run rate is 8 and the current one is 5 and over. Wide delivery. This is where the bowlers would have to the focus here. Abolari, experienced enough to know the lines and lengths he would be chasing, perhaps trying too hard.
Seems like what the Lions are waiting for is just that one expensive over. But if they cannot take charges to the final over of the power play, and they still haven't been able to try and put up a lot of runs in the strategic field setting, what is the guarantee that they will actually go all out and find those guys that they couldn't find now with the remaining 14 overs of play?
Valid point made by you, Peter. They are still short of what is required. What is required is 8.25. But they are currently on 5.63, which means they need to step it up. They need to score singles and boundary or boundaries, as it were, in every over.
It is that the bowling of the mighty Tigers, I like to call them the mighty Tigers, has become all of a sudden overnight. I wouldn't say an overnight task, but they have just become, there's a surge in bowling efficiency by their side, making sure that to restrict and reduce the runs to the very lowest. The Northern Lions, who have been one of the free scoring side on this occasion, are being restricted and cannot find the gap without cross for a maximum. Finally, there is a breakthrough. I'm not surprised to see Hosanna take charge and go for that maximum score.
Big relief, you have to say. Osana Omonkobio. Big relief, you have to say. Osana Omonkobio. Trying to take this game by the scruff of the neck. And the first maximum for the second innings.
Good thing to have a fielder in that place. The fielding setting is still sort of restricted, but that isn't stopping the Northern Lions. I said earlier that they needed to start finding those gaps now, as there isn't a guarantee. They don't find it now, that they will find it later. And Sylvester Okwe must have heard me and went big on that ball.
There's a lot of bragging rights for this game.
What a way to end the power play overs. Northern Lions currently sits at 37 of 36 balls faced, but that will not be enough right now in terms of runs rate, as they are currently on 6.33 as opposed to the 8.07 that they need to win this game. 151 is still what they need, with 113 all that they need to add on the board. If you look at the batting scorecard, Elijah Saturday had to go out without registering a single run. Only Hosanna Omonko has gotten into double digits. Miracle Solomon couldn't get into 2. Sylvester Okwe closing on that double figures gap. But so far, there is still many more runs needed. 4 extras have been given compared to the 10 in the first innings that the Northern Lions would. Now they need to also play off the bat and try and chase off these runs on the board.
You can say that again. And from my screen, the captain, Sulaiman Rushewe, has entrusted Shino Awodele with the ball. And he will be bowling from the High Court, the Lagos High Court, but we simply call it the Court of Appeal. And Okwe Sylvester has to get into the groove if he wants to take his team home. And he has started a catching opportunity. Brilliant one from David Ankra. And Okwe Sylvester is dumbfounded. Peter, see it again on replay. Shina Awodele doing it, but was held by David Ankra.
Not surprised to see, a player of his caliber, national team player as well, would not let that ball go. That ball was there for the taking, and that has been successfully taken. Three catches now that the Northern Lions have suffered in this match. The desperation is telling on them, and that wicket loss. You look at that ball against Sylvester, they did everything he could in terms of pitching that ball, just didn't apply the right amount of power behind it, and that is the outcome. 3 wickets, all 3 have been caught out. They are not finding those gaps like I said they would, and with the expanded field settings, going for the maximum seems like the most reasonable thing to do, but they really need to play it into gaps.
We were hoping that Isaac Okwe, whose team finished strongly with that performance on Monday against the Eastern Elephants, the Southern Sharks, that the younger brother, Sylvester, was going to bat for a longer time, and if he had done that, he would have surpassed Danladi Isaac of the Southern Sharks, but unfortunately didn't do too much, and in comes Isaac Onyengba, and he has to bat alongside Osana Omonkobio, but not just batting, scoring runs, and probably form a partnership reminiscent of what we saw in the first innings when Solomon Chilemaya, who was undone by that his 49 runs, alongside his captain Sulaiman Rushewe, had a partnership.
To add one more run to that. Since that wicket, this is the first one that Shino Awodele is giving out in a bowling over. They understand that they have to take things slowly now, but slowly at this point is not advisable, as they are 32 ball margin away from runs needed, 32 run margin away from balls available, and that would mean that the Northern Lions will have to start finding the boundary ropes at the appropriate time, and this one will be to the boundary ropes as well, beyond it into the side screen. Omonko has taken charge, dislodging those balls beyond something Sylvester wanted to do but couldn't succeed, as well as finally David Ankra has been beaten in that deep, and 6 has been gotten for the second time this inning.
Coincidentally, those 2 sixes were coming from, permit me to use the word, an unexpected batter. But it's cricket. Sometimes the big guns will not do what is required. See his first 6. Rashida Bolarin was the victim. And the next one was Shishina Udele. Even if he had gotten the wicket of Captain Sylvester Okwe. See that it was made beautiful by David Ankara, the way he was watching that ball. Looking like I could catch this thing, but the velocity kept going higher until reality dawned on him and the ball hit the side screen. 7 overs gone for 6 for 3. They need 105 runs in 78 balls. Undubudem Elochukwu is back, yet to get a wicket, but in his first over, 9 runs was gotten. Usana Omonkobio, if he plays well, might also add Undubudem into the list of people who were sent for maximum.
Hadn't found his length yet on the game, but certainly the Northern Lions haven't found their timing yet and rhythm. As every time that they seem to be building up a partnership, the partnership was broken, and over 3 occasions the wickets have been caught. 1 in the deep and 2 within the 30-yard circle. It is going to take more than just batting strokes and techniques to find the gap. The fielding is so tight by the Middlebelt Tigers, trying to restrict and reduce everyone, forcing the Northern Lions to play into the air, and on 3 occasions they've been caught. Playing off the front foot, is that a catch? Yes, it will be. Not surprised to see that the person taking that ball was Abolari Abdul Rashid. Had his brilliant inning and would complement it with that beautiful catch. Went low as possible, picking that ball before contact was made with the soil. And now the pressure just keep dipping and becoming worse as look at it again. Jimmy didn't really put a lot of intent into that ball, wanting to find the more narrow side of the leg, and that is probably into the deep mid-wicket region section. But for some reason, that ball went straight into the arms of Abolari Abdul Rashid. And if you look at it now, just look at the Middlebelt Tigers. They are very, very elated, knowing that 4 wickets and still not into the halfway point of this inning, they are in control.
Absolute control they are. And in comes jersey number 88, Karim Ridwan. He needs to bat like an elite all-rounder. But he'll be facing a teammate of his, Undubudem Elochukwu. Unfortunately, Undubudem's senior debut for Nigeria in Abuja see that again on replay. That was a catch that sent out Isaac Oyengba. I was just going to say that Undubudem Elochukwu's senior debut, Karim Ridwan, wasn't available owing to academic matters. And we are back into the night over. Shina Udele coming from the Court of Appeal end. Good running in between the wickets among Kobio, Usana, and Karim Ridwan. Must do what others did not do. If they hope to take this game from the jaws of defeat.
Hosanna has had to play more on the back foot than the front, and he successfully made contact on all occasions. It is just surprising to see that all 4 wickets have been caught out, 2 in the deep and 2 within the inner ring. There's something I want to ask. Is it that the Northern Lions are failing to complete their shot, or are a little bit hesitant in terms of approach with the ball?
There are 2 things, Peter. Inability to complete their shot, and the second one, hesitance in some of their display when it comes to batting. And why do I also think that the Northern Lions, there's some level of complacency that has crept in after winning 3 matches to get themselves into that playoff spot. It's looking more like they will lose the next 2. This is not gone yet. They still have an opportunity to salvage it. But it looks like a team that is a bit complacent. Appeal by Shina Udele to Karim Ridwan. Appeal falls on deaf ears.
Yeah, already the middle order have had to come in, and it's not even the middle part of the game yet. So you can understand just how much pressure it is setting on them. I mean, this is a team that were boasting and smiling in the first inning while bowling. And now with the bat, they have been more silent than you can think about. And they are not being given space to even take any runs at all. It is the end of the 9th over. 4 wickets have been lost for the Northern Lions as the runs sit at 50, which now means that they will be acquiring 101 of the next 66 balls available. Look at the batting scorecard. Ozana Omonko, who has been there since ball 1 and has seen every partnership being broken. The current partnership with Karim Ridwan. Only 2 of his 5, the first 4 partnerships have ended in double figures. Abdul Karim Ridwan is his 5th batting partnership that he would look to build the innings with. It is that the man who has scored 60% of the runs the Northern Lions have on the ball right now, driving that ball above the field straight down the gap and getting the first 4 of this over, the much needed 4 that the Northern Lions have been finding difficult.
You could see on the face of Usana, it reads someone who is not totally happy with what is going on with his team, based on the fact that he's yet to find a partner.
And just as you look at it, another wicket will be lost, and this time it is not Hosanna who will be looking to build up another partnership, as he failed to keep his foot in and he has had to walk back to the pavilion. The 5th wicket that has been lost, and this is the first one not getting caught in the deep, but it will be the wicket keepers after getting stumped, and Undubudin picks up his 2nd wicket. There was that ball again. It shuffles out and picking out that back leg, couldn't return it faster than the keeper's stump attempt, and Chile Maya with 1 catch and 1 stump, he is having the last laugh, as he's having the bigger laugh at the moment. And the water break will apply almost immediately, as that wicket has seen the game being put to a halt at the moment while both teams take out this water break opportunity on a strategic timeout coming into the last 10.3 overs of this game.
Everybody on a straight line.
We are back. And Rainet Osage needs to do some damage control if he hopes to salvage something from today's game and not make it look like a cakewalk. Himself and Karim have to pick it up from where Usana Omonkobio stopped. They've lost vital wickets. And this duo can actually do something. And with that, we eventually come to the end of the 10th over. See what is required. 96 runs off 60 balls.
That is a 36 ball gap. 36 runs gap between balls available. And the Northern Lions really need to start coming up with a different strategy. I hope that innings break, that water break, gave them enough time to go back and re-strategize, knowing very much that what they need right now are the big guns, as tools will barely be enough for them. They really need to try and reduce this run rate, the runs required, as quick as possible.
You can say that again. They require 9.60 and they are currently on 5.50. A maximum there. Rainet, this is what they need. In every over, if they can get a maximum and a boundary, then they have a fighting chance.
Rainet is just going to slug it all out, go after every ball and hope that he gets the boundary ropes as frequently as possible. Maximum to start off his batting innings, and is just going to keep slugging it out. And I expect to see more bowling composure and intelligence from the bowling of the Middlebelt Tigers. Because if you want to get out this kind of batter, you don't give him a ball that he will play. If Shino Abodele doesn't doesn't observe that and keeps on giving that ball at the playable region, he's going to just keep getting that ball the slush through the boundary ropes.
Again, that replay. Things settling in, but that would go all the way. 61 for 5 from 10. I think Middlebelt are in a very, very good position now. 19 required of 58. Now wicket of Sylvester Okwe. 50, 60 runs written around it. It's departed. Regnet now 7 of 4 deliveries. Karim 2 of 7. And that man, Awodele Shina, continue from the Court of Appeal end. Nippy deliveries. It's got in a wicket to his name, jersey number 88. In the air, the drop shot here off the ground. Just not getting enough of that one. Too much power perhaps. Needs to then focus more on timing. Lovely weather out here at the TBS Cricket Oval, and happy Eid to our viewers, Muslim brothers all over the world. A brilliant piece of keeping there, class act. That man just making life a bit unbearable for the batter. No, not quick enough, but the batter is clearly grounded.
A much needed freebie by the mighty Middlebelt Tigers, as a no ball is being signaled, and that will give Karim with one that chance of going for the maximum. Comes on strike, number 88 will bowl to number 88. Doesn't take advantage of that, as that ball doesn't travel beyond the 30-yard circle, and only one run could be gotten off that freebie. The runs are still quite slow for the Northern Lions at this point.
Karim was going to take advantage of that, but that did not happen. You can see what Reynet is trying to do. He just wants to go for every ball and trying to slug. If I connect, I do. If I don't, then I have to go and meet my teammates back at the pavilion, because at this stage now, a lot needs to be done in terms of where they want to be and where they currently are. After 11 overs, they are 65 for 5. Captain Sulaiman Rushewe wants to take responsibility, and he has decided to use 4 bowlers up until this moment. Egosa Ageru Destin has both 3 overs, 2 wickets to his credit, 14 runs. Undube Melochukwu, 2 wickets to his credit, 16 runs, 3 overs. Abraham Rashid, 2 overs in search of a wicket, but has been played for 15 runs. And Awodele Shina, 3 overs, 1 wicket, 10 runs. He conceded.
One of the most important bowlers and batters for the side, it is the skipper Sulaiman Rushewe. The run seems to have been going up and the wickets are no longer coming, and he has taken that mantle on himself, taking hold of the ball, and will want to take that very much needed wicket for the Middlebelt Tigers. Has the second highest number of wickets before this game, with 5 wickets in 4 bowling innings.
No, sure. His keeper himself working extremely hard. Oh, brilliant one. Bata trying to open that face.
Whatever they do, keep Rennet on strike. It's the only one right now wanting to intentionally make contact and find the boundary ropes. With Van Wu need to help him by running between the wickets when necessary and fast. You know, with that ball, he's going to the ropes, but Renet's decision to always slug it down the leg side is looking to pay off for 2 consecutive run-ins between the wicket being completed.
It's looking like a long day here for the Northern Lions, but clearly 82 runs from 52 deliveries is doable. The question is that 5 in between the runs and the overs. You lost 5 crucial wickets. Always going to be a difficult state of mind. He goes shimmy downs to hit it, but the fielder in the deep will just make sure poor running between the wicket. A ball watching and not deciding between Karim and Regnet. But they managed 2 from that one. Showing bowling from a very difficult length. Oh, brilliant bowling. Brilliant bowling, this man. Oh, yes, it's gone. That will be it. That will be it. This is brilliant piece of bowling. He knows it. Ronshawen Sulaiman, I think, he's outsmarted Regnet here. It's 71 for 6 now from 11.5 overs. And more pressure as the Northern Lions perish under the knives. It's the middle belt Tigers that are happy at the moment. Just look at that delivery again. Saw him coming and would pitch that one back of a length, misses out, and the keeper made no mistake of it.
Chilemaya, he's not slowing down the moment. He's getting those balls within his grabs. He's getting those wicket dislodged. You can see just how quick his arms were. 2 stumps today, and as well as the catch, that very wide catch that is responsible for 3 of the wickets that the Middlebelt Tigers can't boast of at the moment. When you look back at that ball, from the moment it was on the gloves, the bills were dislodged immediately, even before Osagi Rennet could make a reaction. Beautifully played. Abdul Ghani, who has been out of the team, started for a while, has suddenly come back in, was part of the team in the last game, missed the last 2 games before that after playing in the opening match day, and he's had to step in right now and come in to bat in the most important period of the match. Couldn't deal without Suleiman Rusevi, and that gave Abdul Ghani the chance to start off with a 100% strike rate. With 1 off run, make that 2, as he will go with 2 runs to finish the 12th over. 73 they've registered on the board so far, 70 for 6 wickets lost, which means that looking at the requirement, they'll be needing 78 of the next 48 balls.
The required run rate is seated at 9.7 and currently trailing at 6. Northern Lions, who started this tournament on the high, have struggled now. The last game of the group stages. And the format will be first versus second. And then third versus fourth. And the winner of that game will play the loser of first and second. More dot balls now. The captain knows how important this is. His attitude on the field clearly defines it. Awodele Shino knows he just needs to look for those dot balls. 74 for 6 and more 77 runs required. Yeah, I got some back. Wide delivery. 3 runs, or you can say it's brilliant shot. This time found the gap and it will go all the way. Karim, sweet from the blade. That willow announcing. Look at that. Just look at that delivery again. And then piercing that gap. Offside loaded. But weren't enough to stop Karim. Slower delivery in the line. Umpire is happy with that one.
Awadele may have gotten a wicket, but has given out a lot of runs in his bowling overs for the Middlebelt Tigers. Give a big chase. That was Captain Suleiman running all the way from backward point towards Gully region to prevent any extra run from being birthed, and will only see the Northern Lions settle for 1 run off that ball.
And brilliant batting. Karim just rotating strike. I think he's one of the discoveries of this tournament. Everything counts now. Strike rotation is crucial to this chase.
Yeah, the rotation is very, very crucial, but would not be enough as the runs required is way more than balls available, which means that they really need to get more than just ones. Twos is reasonable, but boundaries will be more of a relief. And that boundary will wait a little bit longer. The balls will dislodge, given that Yokolet ball 2 is very own opposite number with 188. Abdul Karim will walk back to the pavilion, not feeling too proud about his man of approach.
I think clearly that was great bowling by Awadele Shino. Just look at that delivery again. Yoka into that leg stump, the base of the stumps. That's really, really beautiful and good to see. The celebration as well. 2 wickets for him. He knows how important it is. He's enjoying himself. The moments are sweet.
Only 3 wickets at hand is what's remaining for the Northern Lions. Only 2 other teams, 3 of the 6 teams in the tournament have lost all wickets in at least one match, with 2 teams losing all 10 wickets in 2 other matches. If the Northern Lions go all out today, there will be 3 of 6 teams to have lost all 10 wickets in at least 2 matches. The Dolphins lost all 10 wickets alongside Central Eagles on 2 separate occasions. Northern Lions have done that once, and we might do that again if they lose all 10 wickets. Finally, at the 4th time of try, certainly does find the gap and will take himself off the strike. Akiri Sicily. But the first extra of this match at the 12.3 ball, that was the longest any team had gone without bowling an extra, and after that is extra, more extras were birthed. 9 extras followed suit, taking the total number of extras to 10. a figure that was avoided in the first 12.3 overs of play. And now with the bat, it has lesser overs of batting left, but will need to register as many more runs as the London Lions want to finish this league match on top of the table.
Always going to be a difficult time to go through, but consistency is important if you want to finish tops. From tomorrow, we go into the crucial stages. Oh, brilliant piece of fielding, pressure everywhere, disappointing, unnecessary. 2 batters ended on one side of the wickets. The umpires have to decide who departs. It will be Akere. Isesele. Abdul Ghani did not leave his ground. Let's look at that again.
I see no reason for that run. Should have waited for that ball to beat the fielder. But you can understand when anxiety takes the board of you, as that anxiousness for another run to climb on the board came at a price. 8 wickets have already been lost, and we still have at least 6 overs of play left to go. Anything that loses here today will slug it out against the Central Eagles for that playoff spot, and will eventually face whoever loses between the first and second place for a chance at the final. So third and fourth will play 2 matches to the final, either of them, while first and second, whoever wins that fixture will have to play just 1 match into the finals. And not surprised to see in comes a waker for the Northern Lions. Only 2 wickets at hand. And that remains Okasha Isaku, the last batter, who for some reason always tends to keep his temperament even longer. But right now he needs more than that. He needs the runs, 68 of the next 36. Good decision to keep that run at 1. They don't want to lose another wicket too very quickly. Undubudim coming this time from the Court of Appeal end and bowling to a waker.
67 from 35. The waker and Abdul Ghani. No ball is the call. I wonder what that is. Free hit. It is Ndubudem. That man who has taken 2 for 18 already. 66 off 35 balls. The waker will just see and try to see what maximum he can get from this delivery. More and more. Wide delivery now. Free hit still on. He needs to focus here. This man Ndubudem, very dangerous bowler. He survives that delivery, dots away, which is very good. In a very good position here, the Middlebelt Tigers. They have to be careful. They have to stay consistent. Another 10 delivery. Oh, brilliant. Oh, he gets it, man. This is beauty. You see that anytime, anyway, and that's the length he's been trying to get. If he can be calm, patient, and stay consistent, just flighting the ball and working on the turn, he will always get results such as this. Ndubudem gets a third, and there the score moves on to 86 for 9, 14.3 overs. Just look at that delivery again. After bowling the no ball and the wide. Look at that. Oh, what a turn on that one. Even the batter knows he's disappointed. Okasha.
I stood in for you for the toss. I stood in for you for the toss so that I can do the toss match. Yes, you did the toss.
Go and do it.
Sir?
Thank God you say, sir. Go and do it. Enjoy your camera. Don't let me take the shine off.
No, I want you to take this. One more wicket at hand. So many overs left to be bowled. The Northern Lions cannot risk losing another wicket. Ganiu and Okasha will look to push this game all the way to the very end as the mighty Middlebelt Tigers, as I like to address them by, will look to seal out this game as quick as possible and put themselves in that high position on the eliminator. Not giving any chance, Chile Maya as is jumping on every single opportunity to dislodge Bills. An end to the 15th over. It will be 86 hits on the board and 9 wickets have been taken in total. Only 1 wicket left to end this inning and 5 overs. Which one will be taken first? 65 or the next 30, meaning that the mighty Middlebelt Tigers have a 35 ball advantage as the Northern Lions cannot afford to lose this game, but he is looking significantly out of hand as any wicket lost right now ends this game immediately. That would have been a catch ball pushed out of the beach for Suleiman Ruseway to take that. No run, no catch, and certainly the balls are ticking down. Finally gets himself into that gap at Ganiu as he is keeping those runs ticking. As he will settle for just 1 run. Okasha yet to add any runs on the board since coming in. One of the few batters to not play not out. Just you can tell Okasha's job right now is just to see this game play out and last all 20 overs. If he loses his wicket, the game ends, and he cannot afford to do that. Takes the ball, does Okasha? Yes, it does, taking himself off the strike. And Abdulganiyu, Okasha are trying to consistently rotate and reduce the run deficit.
I can also say that the Northern Lions have been brought back to earth and they've been told to come down from their high horse. At some point in time, they were untouchable up until that period where they suffered that loss from the Eastern Elephants, who are out of this tournament. Now the Middlebelt Tigers are looking to move up the summit.
And mind you, the Northern Lions needed to not lose this game by more than 1 run, as any more runs that they lose by would see them drop into 3rd place. And now with the way the gap is going, they will even lose more net run rate and will finally sink into that 3rd position that they've been shying away from for a very long time now.
You can say that again. 16 overs gone. They are 89 for 9. They need 62 runs in 24 balls. And it's almost game set and done for the Tigers against the Lion, the Battle of the Jungle. But more importantly, the big one that we are expecting to happen later this afternoon is the unveiling of the coach and high performance manager of the senior national team, the Yellow Green, Stephen Maviza Mangongo, the man from Zimbabwe. and talk about Zimbabwe yesterday in a football game yesterday. We defeated them by 2-0. And that's at the Unity Cup, the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Just an aside. Ihosa Agedo Destiny is back again from the Court of Appeal end. He has 2 wickets to his credit for 14 runs. He would like to take the wicket of Abdul Ganiu, who is currently the striker, and close out things. And I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the game. Abdul Ganiu is still stunned, but the reality staring us in the face is that he has to take a walk. And that is the end of the game. Middlebelt Tigers won by a dominant 61-run victory on a very important day across the globe, the day where all Muslim brothers and sisters are celebrating Eid al-Kabir, where rams, cow, goats, camel are slaughtered. But we love what we do here. We are supposed to be where the celebration is. But again, duty calls and you must answer. And across the globe, we are all celebrating Children's Day. See that again on replay. Oh my word, that was a brilliant catch from Solomon Chilemaya. And I'm sure Endurance FM has 1 or 2 things to say.
You can't take the beauty away from that catch. And Chilemaya just enjoying himself there. He's done well behind his thumbs. And that's the match summary for the Middlebelt Tigers versus Northern Lions. Solomon Chilemaya, 49 of 33 deliveries. Olale Yinka Elijah, 42 of 31. Ronshawe, the skipper, 35 of 41. Bowling figures there for the Northern Lions. Okacha, 1 for 22. Regnet Osage, 1 for 28. And Karim Ridwan, 1 for 19 from 3 overs. Northern Lions perished on 89 for the loss of 10 wickets. Ozana Mokyobo, 34 of 27. Regnet Osage, 13 of 13. Karim Ridwan, 9 of 13. The bowling figures there, Egosa Agedo Destiny, 3 for 14 from 3.2. Ndubudem, 3 for 19 of 4 overs. And Awodele Shino, 2 for 29. Are the pack of the wickets. And it's Middlebelt who celebrates on this special day, having won by 61 runs. Will join us for the post-match presentation, our colleague Peter.